Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be here today. Let's start with a few words about myself. So my name is Nir Fogel and I head up a customer success group in monday.com North America. And in the past 8 years, I had the opportunity to work with so many different organizations across the globe, helping them to adopt technology and to make a change to improve the way they work. And since I joined Monday, I feel like I have the opportunity to take it to the next level, not only to help organizations to improve, but actually to take them to the future of work. And this is what I want to talk about today. I also want to make a confession. I'm an addict. I'm addicted to WorkOS. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but I am an addict, and I want to tell you more about it today, and I hope it's going to be very clear. So let's get started. When we think about the future, I want to start by looking at the past. So look at that slide, and let's start with the left side of that slide. When I started to work, many organizations look like that, a central nervous system with a very kind of traditional hierarchy in the organization where decisions made from top down. But today, we all work in different types of organizations that are much more collaborative, and we work between different teams in a better way, and decisions are made across the organizations in so many different directions. For example, as a customer success professional, I feel it every day. I work with so many different teams. I work with sales and partners and R&D and product and BizOps and IT. We all work together every day. We share feedback, we share information, we take decisions, and our managers don't have to be in the loop. And all that great change in the environment also change the type of technology we need in order to operate. So let's talk about the technology. 15 years ago, we already had so many different tools. Many of them were like standalone, but still, we had a lot of tools like ERP systems and financial systems and spreadsheets and even project management tools. They were all great, but we felt like it wasn't enough. And then came the cloud revolution with platforms like Salesforce and Jira and NetSuite and G Suite, so many different platforms that were great for us. Suddenly, we had access to the data and to the work environment from everywhere. But that was still not enough. We wanted to communicate better. And then came the revolution of communication and collaboration with systems like Slack and Microsoft Teams. And suddenly, we had access to anyone in the organization. It was so easy, and data started to flow between the teams in a better way. But today, we understand that this is not enough as well. When we all work on those specialized platforms and communicate on another platform, are we really working together? Teams are looking for ways to work together, for real. So what's the future of work? What's the next step? What's the next revolution? Before we talk about the future of work, let's make sure we understand what work means. So the first thing that may come to your mind is projects, right? We manage a lot of projects, but we know that work is more than just projects. It's also the tools, the meetings, the processes, the knowledge sharing, brainstormings, initiatives, events, tasks, and also the fun stuff like promotions, celebrations, happy hours, seminars, etc. And we're looking for a platform that will combine all of them together and help us to work better. We basically need those 6 elements. The first one, and the most important, is flexibility. As we want to have so many different teams on the platform, and we want all of them to work together, and they have so many different use cases, we should make sure that there is no limit to the solutions people can build on the platform. The second thing we need is integration. We work with so many specialized platforms, and we want the data to flow between the system in an easy way. Integration should be easy to build and very smooth. And then we want to drive adoption through the organization, so we cannot compromise on user experience. We want to make sure we have a simple and user-friendly platform that can have a viral adoption through the organization. Now, because we have a lot of data and we want to make sure employees and managers can continuously improve the way they work and take data-driven decisions, we must have a very strong analytics capabilities. And then when we have all the data stored in one place, we make sure that it's scalable to support the growth of the company and also secured to protect the data, which is many times private and sensitive. And all those elements separately will not be enough. We need all of them at the same time, in the same place, for everybody. only when we have all of them together, people can really work together. And when we have all that, we call it Work OS, Work Operating System, which is basically all the capabilities we had and beyond grouped together into one platform that can help us to operate and work in a better way. You may already have those capabilities in your organization. Some of you may have, and that's great. You can drive efficiency together with your teams. But that might not be enough. In the past year, especially when COVID started, we learned that when only some teams in the organization have those capabilities, it's not enough. And only when all teams have these capabilities, the real magic of WorkOS come to life. Only then we can drive efficiency through the entire organization. Only then teams really work together. And this is the future of work. Now that we understand the future of work, I want to take you through a few examples of how it worked for our customers when they started small and they grew into different teams until they became a 100% WorkOS organizations and implemented the platform across their companies. This is Hyperscience, a tech company developing a great automation platform. They started with 5 users from one team, and those 5 users started to tell about Monday to different colleagues in the organizations. And suddenly we started to see different people from different teams joining the platform. We saw people from IT, marketing, sales ops, engineering, customer success, and product. And in June 2020, we had 90 people on the platform from different teams. And then they saw the potential of driving efficiency through the entire organization, and they were ready to become a 100% WorkOS organization and invited 200 people, all their employees, to the platform. When they did that, they opened the window to have even more impact with other use cases that they couldn't do before. On the left side here, you can see the company-wide OKR. They were able to build that process on monday.com and to make sure people are aligned around objectives and are accountable for their performances. On the right side, you can see the onboarding new hires. They were able to group all the resources together and help new hires to come on board when they join the company and save so much time by doing that. This is Fatima, the People Operation Manager. She's telling us about the impact she was able to make through the organization. First of all, by aligning all the employees around the objectives and make them accountable for their performances, and also to drive efficiency and satisfaction through the onboarding process of new hires. And she couldn't do it without having the entire organization on the platform. The second example comes from Sear Interactive, which is a tech company developing a great digital marketing platform. In their case, the story was a little bit different. They started testing the system with a few users, and then they understood the potential of the WorkOS, and they were able to take an immediate decision to become a 100% WorkOS organization. They invited all their employees to the platform and starting to drive efficiency through the organization. And today, they have an amazing adoption rate of 94%, which is amazing. And when we analyze the way they use the platform deeper, we can see that 90% of the users are using the platform every day, which means this is the main working platform. Along the different processes they have, the different projects they manage daily, I want to focus on that specific initiative that I think makes a lot of sense. And here you can see how they drive agility through the organization using their platform. When COVID started, they immediately created a COVID response task management board that you can see on the right side. It was very important for them to communicate with customers and talk about the situation of COVID with them. They invited all the different resources, the client-facing resources, and all the other resources that were there to help. On the left side, you can see the dashboard they built in order to allow their managers to keep on tracking the progress and making sure it moves to the right direction. This is Christina, the project manager lead, who was able to make an impact through the organization with that COVID-19 initiative. And she's telling us about the immediate ROI she got from the platform with that super important initiative. And again, she couldn't do it without having the entire organization on the platform and all the relevant teams working together. Okay, to really understand what 100% WorkOS look like, I want to take you through a short tour behind the scenes of how Monday is using monday.com as a WorkOS platform. We have more than 600 employees, and we are using a lot of different tools, but most of the day, we're using Monday as our work OS. And I want to show you a few examples of how we do it. This is the first example, focusing on bridging organizational silos. And this is actually my favorite example because it is related to my team, the customer success team. And this is a board we built together in order to help our customers to address their challenges toward renewal. We have all the list of relevant customers with all the data that is integrated from different systems, and we invite a lot of different resources to help us to address these challenges. For example, we call the CX team to help with support tickets. We call the product team to help with product roadmap, and R&D to help with technical problems, and sales to help with negotiation, and BizOps to analyze the data for us, and IT to work on security, and partners to help us to develop customized solutions for our customers, and senior managers and finance, and all those resources come together to help us to improve the quality of the service we give to our customers. What's the alternative of having all of them together? We could communicate with the sales on the CRM system, or with the R&D on their development platform, or chat with the IT expert. But then we had to share the data again and again and again. Nobody has the big picture. And when we want to see what happened and what kind of results we have, we don't have the data in one place, and senior executives don't have the status and all the information. And so we save so much time, and we improve the quality by having all of that in one place. And we love that board. We use it every day. The second example is focusing on collaboration and communication. We call this board Cool Videos of Cool Use Cases, which is an opportunity for client-facing people to share their problems and solutions on this board. And then all the other teams can learn from it, but also ask questions and suggest improvements. And we improve the way we solve problems for our customers. And we can even make more impact when product and R&D are learning the different challenges we have, and they can take it internally to improve the product. And the marketing team can take those examples and post it on their website when they want to share it with our customers. And the fun part of having all of us together on the same board is when we actually have a great impact, we can celebrate together. And this is the fun of working together. The next example is focusing on knowledge sharing. We call this board Documents for Sales. I'm not sure it's the best name for this board, but let's see what we have in it. So the idea is to allow different teams to share their templates and documents on this board to allow cloud-facing people to use those templates when they communicate with customers. Basically, we have sections here for different teams. We have a section for IT, for legal, for customer success, for sales enablement, marketing, and finance. And we allow all of them to share their documents. And then client-facing people can have access to the data in one place, which is great, and they save a lot of time. But more than that, they have the access to the people behind those templates. They can ask questions. They can improve those documents, ask for changes, and all together make them much more efficient when we work together. The next one is about alignment. And this is maybe the most famous board we have. You might have heard about it. It is called Captain's Logs. And here is the opportunity for all the departments in the organization to share their processes, their initiatives, and their updates to the entire organization. And this is the main way for us to make sure all the employees in the organization are aligned with everything that is happening around them. When we do that, we make sure that people don't work on the same initiatives. We make sure that people can lean on each other when they need help. So if I need something, I know that someone else is working on it, I can go ahead and work together. And I don't have to start from scratch. And a good example of how we made an impact using that specific board comes from our marketing team. When they saw the quality and quantity of product updates on this board, they decided to create a weekly blog post with all those product updates, and all our customers now have access to all the updates on this board. This example is about agility. And we talk a lot about agility, but I want to make sure it's clear why agility is so important for the business and how the Work OS can help us with that. So basically the idea is that the organization can create any kind of initiative and make an impact very, very quickly. Just create a board in a few minutes, invite all the resources, and start pushing forward and making an impact. We don't need a lot of kickoff meetings and status meetings. We create the board, we align everybody, and we start working. And this is an example of how we wanted to focus on private Monday apps for our customers. And we basically built a board, invited the client-facing teams together with the technical teams and together with the partners into one board, and we started to work to try to find opportunities to help our customers with private apps. And at any given time, we know exactly where we are according to the targets and the KPIs we set for that specific initiative. Okay, so this is the last example I want to share with you. And it combines a lot of different things, a lot of different capabilities we have on the Work OS. It basically shows how we can drive efficiency using all those capabilities. The example is focusing on how we organize an event. And this example is about this event, the Elevate online conference. So when we have such a big project and so important for the company, first of all, we want to make sure that we have all the resources together. In this case, we have over 40 speakers coming from so many different places in the organization. We also have the marketing experts, we have the design people, and we have consultants from outside of the company. All are invited to this board to work together. The second thing we want to do is to improve the quality of work. We set a preparation process for each presentation to make sure the presentation is ready and go live. And then we want to make sure that people are working with a very tight timelines. We want to make sure that they are ready on time and they have all the preparation needed. And because we have so many different resources, we want to allocate the resources in a smart way to avoid bottlenecks. And the last thing is transparency. We want to allow the entire organization to have access to those slides and to those presentations and to give us some feedback and suggestions of how to improve the way we present things. When we combine everything together, this is efficiency. We improve the quality of work and we try to save time and money and resources through the process. We all work together toward the same goal. Before we finish, I just want to tell you about myself. When I joined monday.com 9 months ago, I was amazed by the impact that the Work OS made on me, on my work, and on the organization. And I think that the secret behind it was that we all work together on the platform. So all those wonderful things you see here on the slide, we just made them better for us. Think about agility and visibility, transparency, all of them, they work much better when we have everyone on the platform. Think about collaboration, communication, alignment, bridging organizational silos, balancing workload, sharing knowledge. All those things work much better when we have the entire organization. And this is the future of work. And this is also the reason I'm addicted to Work OS. Before we finish, I want you to take a few questions from the presentation today. The first one is, are you really ready to become a 100% Work OS organization? The second question I wanted to ask yourself is, do you have potential to drive more efficiency through the entire organization? And the third question is maybe the easiest one, is what can we do next to become a more Work OS organization? Think about it. And thank you so much for having me today.